Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Lene's World, and today's review is going to be on this new HBO true crime story, Love and Death. It's pretty cool. It's already on episode 3, and we're going to start right there. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to do the top 5 moments that I feel were important during this episode. Okay, so if you guys feel if I miss anything that you feel like should have been in the top 5, please comment below so we can all get into it together. So I won't waste you guys time. Number 1 for me was the first scene when Allen meets up with Candy at the park to talk to her about their situation and whatnot. So of course last episode, we got to see that Allen is trying to be there for his wife more emotionally and everything, physically, everything, because he's been so, detached because he's been fucking Candy, right? So at the park, this episode, he's not coming out literally saying that he wants to call it quits, but of course Candy is not slow, and she takes it and pretty much says, okay, then that's fine then, like I won't call you or I won't text you, anything like that. I said text, Jesus, I need to get myself out of 2023. This is like back in 1970. She said I won't call or come see you and all that bullshit, right? So of course she storms off. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Bye. But my thing is that, guys, I think with episode 1, I think when we first saw the affair and they had them goddamn do's and don'ts, right? Remember they had the meeting in the goddamn hotel room, right? The first meeting up, and they had the do's and don'ts like they on goddamn Seinfeld episode when Elaine and Jerry was trying to figure out how they gonna make this sleeping together thing work. Okay, and the very first rule that Betty wrote was that anybody can break it off, no questions asked, right? So in my head, that's where I'm like, okay, so how we get to you storming off being mad because that man want to break it off. But of course, emotions, nobody can just fuck someone and that's it and not expect to fall in love. Or just grow attachment or something. Okay, especially females. I believe men, they are capable to be out there fucking everybody and not be emotionally attached to all these females. But females, yeah, we can try to go out there and be hot girls, yeah, until you find the right one, and now your ass ain't looking stupid as hell like Candy, right? So now she storms off, right? So that's pretty much my top moment, because this pretty much is the beginning of the end. Okay, so number 2 for me would be Candy goes to see Betty. Okay, this is the scene where also Allen walks Candy to her car, right? So let's start from the top. So Betty, of course, is at home. Of course, she found the lump on her breast. She done been about $10,000 trying to figure out what's going on. Each one done said, girl, it's benign, go on about your business, you okay, like stop stressing. But of course, with Betty, I feel like she missing 2 marbles out of 100, up there. So she going through it. She a hypochondriac, because clearly, granted, I know doctors do fuck up, but like, breathe, sis, breathe, right? So of course, Candy decides to come by, and she comes by to see Betty. Betty's like, hey, what you doing here and whatnot? And then Betty's like, what you here? And Candy's like, yeah, I came, I heard about your breast cancer scare. And she's like, how the hell you know? And then Candy's like, oh, Allen told me. And then you can tell Betty looked kind of like, he why the hell would he tell you when I ain't even told my damn mama about the shit? Like, it ain't like, I don't understand why would he tell you. But of course, Betty ain't say shit. Candy made a little joke and blah 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 about husbands don't worry enough and this and that, but still, it's still trying to figure out why the hell he tell you that. So that's like probably like strike 1 in her head. He'll probably strike 2 in her head, like to say, okay, what's going on? So of course, if they're sitting outside talking, who pulls up? Of course, Allen, big ass head. He pulls up. Of course, it gets kind of awkward for Candy, because of course, Allen comes to kiss his wife, and hey, honey, do that old fake shit, but not fake, but he does that. And so you can tell Candy's kind of like visibly feeling the way and whatnot, but still holds it in. So of course, Candy like, okay, I gotta get ready to head out, head back. I just came to check on you and make sure you'll be good to go. And so then Betty's like, Allen, how about you walk Candy to a car? In my head, I was like, bitch, that car less than 20 feet away. It ain't dark outside. She ain't got no kids, and we not in the hood. So I don't understand why you want her I mean, you want him to walk up to a car, because I don't get it. We ain't doing all that, but that's what some of these folks be doing. It ain't us, but going off, okay? So of course he walks our ass to the car, and they're sitting outside talking, shooting the breeze, right? And who do we see out the window looking? Betty crazy ass, right? So she peek out the window and just stares. And you can tell by Allen's and Candy body language that it's a little bit more than just goddamn church member, board members and shit, right? Because you can always tell two people that's fucking. I don't care how they try to play it off and all that bullshit and tell you that, oh, it's nothing, we're just friends. It may seem weird, but we're just friends and all that bullshit. No, like, I could tell y'all niggas is currently fucking. Now, some people that done fucked about 30 years ago, that's different. But you can tell that y'all a little bit too whoop the whoop, right? So that pretty much ends number 2. Okay. Number 3 for me in the show of the top 5 moments for me would be Pat and Candy discussing the marriage encounters. Of course, we know that Candy, since she done started the boot camp, I'm gonna call it a marriage boot camp, done worked out for Allen and Betty, she approaches Pat, to try to see if they can try to get back on some type of, accord and to get back to normal and whatnot. Because Pat is so content. I love Pat being his own business downstairs watching late night with Daily Carson. I don't know what the hell was on back then in the 70s, but he be content. He be laughing. He be so damn cute. I said, yes, mind your own business, sir. You don't bother me. I would love Pat as my husband. Go on down there and watch TV and get the hell out of my face and bring home the check, honey. Because we know Betty ain't got no goddamn, not Betty, but Candy ain't got no damn job, or Betty here for that matter. But yeah, we smart Candy right now. Let me get back on topic. So anyway, so Candy comes downstairs and she's talking about that. So to go to the marriage boot camp, and Pat's like, you want to go to that goddamn cult? And I said, right, because I call everything a damn cult in my head. I'd be like, cult, it sounds weird, it looks weird, y'all talking weird, y'all act weird, you look weird, it's a cult. I'm just playing, but no, I grew up Pat. So of course, because Candy's so adamant about doing the shit, Pat say, all right, we're gonna go ahead and do it. He gonna go ahead and go. Now, the marriage encounters, it didn't work the same how it did for Allen and Betty. Because, Allen and Betty, they weird as hell anyway. So, they jump right in like double dutch. Got them on the first try, they in there. Okay, so they going in there and because... yeah, Allen and Betty, they did all the programs, they did all the workshops, they really took it serious. So for Pat and Candy, it wasn't that bad. They did learn a little bit. They did get on a better accord with one another, to understanding, and Pat trying to open up and be there more for his wife. Because, you do eventually see that I can watch less TV. Like when you come home from work, sir, because she a stay-at-home mom, which means she at the house all day cooking and cleaning, picking up kids, grocery shopping, all that bullshit, while you at work bringing home the money, right? So when you get home, your first thing to do, you want to go downstairs on the goddamn TV. Like, can you talk to your wife? Can you make your wife feel special? Like, can you give her some type of time? At least take out 10 minutes, damn, to say what's going on. How was your day, babe? But I ain't finna get into all that. So, yeah, so it did open up a better line of communication for the both of them, right? So, which also leads into my number 4, right? So, because Pat is trying to, be there more and show her more that, he fucks with her, right? He was looking for a letter that I believe he said that he wrote her when they first met. So, that goes into my number 4 top moment when Pat finds the letter to Candy from Allen. Okay, so it wasn't like Pat was he was trying to find some shit because he had no idea that Candy was cheating. He was trying to find a letter that they had very young. I think he said he wrote, right? And so he comes across a letter that it's a love letter from Allen to Candy, and I'm like, how sloppy can you be, bitch? Like, you already be in this man's wife's face, and now you got shit right in your husband's face unbeknownst to him until he come across it. Like, why would you leave stuff like this lying in a damn drawer? It's like her damn nightstand on her side of the bed. That's where I feel like that damn drawer was that he went in and found it. Like, It's like just sloppy, right? So Pat finds a letter. He reads it. She's like, I wish they would have had a voiceover of having Alan read that damn letter aloud so we could know what the hell it said. Because, I'm nosy. I wouldn't know everything. But we ain't get all that. So, of course, Pat takes his ass on down to, he flies down, as a matter of fact, down to, Candy's best friend, Sherry. She work at the nail shop. He said, let me holler at you real quick. Put the nail file down. Come on outside real quick. Let me holler at you. And he pretty much, instead of him asking her, like, did she cheat? He's pretty much saying, like, is that hoe still cheating? Like, he's like, it's straight to the point. I ain't got time for redundant ass questions. Like, is it still going on? Like, how long and all this? And of course, Sherry, she ain't trying to give a friend up, too quick. You know what I'm saying? She's still down for the team. But of course, I would have told that man too. He done came down to my job, and I know this shit, and like, I ain't got no problem with Pat, because of course I'm sure they done all hung out before. So I would have definitely said, yeah, all right. But of course, she did defend her friend. She was like, oh, it's over with. She done with it. She said she don't give a damn no more and all that. So of course Pat was like, okay, cool. He was like, do me a favor, don't tell her that I came down here, because I want to tell her on my own. Right? I want to tell her before. But of course, honey, Cherie couldn't wait to call that damn house phone, because of course, Candy had been gone on some damn religious retreat, some bullshit. I don't give a fuck. So soon as she came home, that's when best friend called her and told her on the phone, unbeknownst to Pat, right? So of course, Candy still didn't say shit. She let him bring it to her first, and he pretty much blames everything on him, said he felt her. Right, you felt her, but I'm gonna need for you to be a little bit more amped, my guy. Like, it ain't just you felt her, because that hoe could have came and talked to you for real before she jumped out on the deep end and cheated on you. So it's both of y'all fault. It ain't just your fault. She don't get to escape easily and be like, granted, she want to sit up here and cry and say how bad she was wrong and blah blah blah. Girl, please, because when she had that convo with her best friend, she said she just really hurt because she got rejected, honey. She said she really don't care about niggas. All about, she feel like it's a projection that hurt her from Alan, not want to talk to her no more. Like, so she don't feel bad for the affair. Okay, like, so I was like, okay, Pat, I see she about to get off skating, right? So they pretty much do all that, and they pretty much tend to go back to normal. Like, he finds the letter, they talk, they cried out. I guess they're trying to go on. I mean, because what they gonna do? They gonna divorce with these damn, they got two kids, right? Like, it's like back in the 70s too. Like, that ain't the norm to be getting no divorce. So they're gonna keep it in house and keep it moving, right? So, all right, I ain't finna get into it, 'cause I'm trying to stick to my top 5 moments. I don't want to go all left field. Okay, so let's go to the top moment of the episode, when Betty confronts Candy about the affair. This was great. Let's start from how the hell Candy even end up getting confronted, right? Where do I start? Let's start with Betty. Because Betty this is like in a day's span, right? Betty is upset because Alan is about to leave for a 2-day trip for business, right? So of course Betty already going through it. She thinks she got cancer. She thinks she may be pregnant again, because the doctor had said stop taking her birth control, because that may be the reason of the goddamn lump in her breast. So she thinks she's pregnant. She tells Alan before he leaves, like, I think I may be pregnant, and if I'm pregnant again, I don't think I can handle being pregnant again and take care of 2 kids. And she's freaking out. So Alan's like, babe, listen, I'm only gonna be gone for 2 days, 48 hours, possibly less. Like, and if you are pregnant, we'll be okay. We're gonna figure it out as always. Like, he's trying to comfort her, but of course, I told you guys, Betty's missing 2 out of 100 marbles upstairs in her head, right? So she's like, okay, she watched him pull off, right? So she's at the house. Her oldest daughter is with Candy's, because Candy and Betty's daughters are best friends, so they always at both house. So this time she's at Candy's house, but the little girl got a swim meet or some shit the next morning, so Candy decided to stop by Betty's house to grab the girl's swimsuit so she can have that shit for the morning, right? So of course Betty said, come on in, okay. this scene, you could tell something was about to happen because Betty was giving me weird. Like, she kept trying to, in my opinion, kept trying to get Candy to like sit down and stay, and Candy like, girl, I got so much to do, I ain't got time to stay. I can't get the little girl goddamn swimsuit so I can go and leave you in peace, right? So eventually Betty says, just sit down for a second. Candy sit her ass down, and then Betty gets straight to the point. She said, did you fucking my husband? Because I don't got time to play games with you. And here come Candy when look dumb as hell. I'm like, no, don't look dumb as hell, because you've been in the lady face for the last however long it's been. No, you've been fucking her husband. Now you want to be looking crazy as hell when she asks you what's going on. Okay, you were so blatant at first. Now you all timid and know what the hell to say. Okay, so Betty's like, don't play with me. So of course Candy admits it. Betty sits there and Betty says, I'll be right back. You sit right here. I'm trying to figure out who in their right damn mind would still be sitting in that damn chair when you just told this lady you been fucking her husband for however long and been in her face being fake as fuck. And that bitch say, hold up, I'll be right back. Who gonna still sit there and wait for her to get back? I don't give a damn if she went to the bathroom. I don't give a damn if she went to get a goddamn glass of water. I'm not sitting there. I'm heading to the door and be like, well, girl, call me. We can talk more. Like, I'm not finna sit there in your face. But what the hell happens? Candy sit her stupid ass there, and if it seems like forever that she sat there, because of course it's so quiet. It's like eerily quiet in this damn house. Only thing we hear is the sound of a clock. I think a fucking big ass grandfather clock. That's the only thing we hear in the background. And then what? We finally sees Betty reappear, and we're gonna see her from the waist down, and she's carrying her axe on her goddamn hand. And I said, still at that moment, you ain't ran out the door yet, Candy. You still standing in her damn house talking about some Betty. No, ain't no damn Betty. I'm in my car already, door closed by the time she even got in her and the axe in the door good enough. But that's how the scene ends, with Betty standing there and Candy looking stupid as hell. So, and of course we pretty much already know how the damn series gonna end if you know the real story. But I can't wait to see how it's gonna play out for real, like because we saw how the first episode, had the first scene with Candy in the shower showering. So we were like, okay, of course you had to have killed her. So I like how we're going to get that tie-in and whatnot and see how that goes. So those are my top 5, guys. Not going to keep you. Like I said, if you guys have a different top 5, anything you would have changed out with mine, please let me know below, because I welcome all comments and love all commentary. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and talk to you guys later. Bye.